All right, our children can come forward to this side and have a seat as we get ready for our children's message. Come on up over here and have a seat this way. Over this way. All right. So today's Bible story comes from the book of Mark. And it's about a time when Jesus was in a boat with all of his disciples. We're going to get into our story and we're going to learn about how it was a very exciting day. There's a lot of stuff going on. But you guys are going to help me tell this story. So we're going to split up into two groups. So Arlena and Jace, on this side, I need you guys to be group A. So move over just a little bit so you're separate. All right, awesome. And then Pax to this side, you guys are going to be group B. So you can move. Can you move over here, Pax? So you're separate groups. All right, thank you. That's great. Thank you very much. So group A and group B, I'm going to need some audience participation as well. So we're going to split the church right down the middle. On the right side, you will be with group A, and then the left side, you'll be with group B. Now, group A, you guys are going to be my storm. And when I point to you, you need to act like you're being pushed around by the wind, and you say, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. All right? So let's practice. Awesome. Great job. Now, just a note, our first service did this very well, so you guys got to be better than the first service. Got to make everything a competition. All right. Group B, you guys are going to be my disciples. And when I point to you, you're going to put your hands on your face and say, oh me, oh my, we're all going to die. Okay. You ready? Here you go. Oh me, oh my, we're all going to die. Awesome. That was great. So one more practice. Oh me, oh my, we're all going to die. Okay, you guys are doing great. Let's get into it. One night, after a long day of preaching to the people, Jesus decided to get into a fishing boat with his disciples and go across the sea to the other side. Leaving the crowd behind, Jesus and his friends got into the boat. When they had sailed to the middle of the sea, a storm began to kick up waves. The boat rocked back and forth and up and down over the waves. The storm grew stronger, so get louder, and more furious. All right. Jesus had fallen asleep almost as soon as the boat left the shore. Even though the sea was tossing the boat around, he was still asleep. But his disciples were beginning to get really afraid. They tried lowering the sail and throwing out the anchor, but nothing worked. They bailed out the water, but still the storm raged. The boat was close to sinking. Finally, they couldn't stand it any longer. Jesus was still sound asleep, so they woke him up. They said, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" Jesus looked at his disciples, who were now soaking wet and shaking with fear. He said to them, "Why are you so afraid?" I skipped ahead, sorry. Going back. With that, Jesus stood up in the boat and shouted out, "Quiet, be still." And the storm died down. The waves grew calm, and the boat Jesus was on stopped sinking. He looked at the disciples and said, "Why are you so afraid? Didn't you believe that I am the Son of God and that I would take care of you?" The disciples were now safe from the storm, but they were terrified of the miracle that Jesus had done. They turned to each other and asked, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." You guys did a great job acting, so you can give yourselves a pat on the back. Awesome job. Now, what an exciting and terrifying day that must have been for the disciples. First, to be caught in that terrible storm, and then to see Jesus take control of the weather by only his words. This story teaches us that Jesus is the Son of God, the creator of the whole universe. And by his authority, we can trust that his death on the cross forgave the sins of the whole world. And since he rose from the dead, we too will rise from the dead and have new life with him. Through our baptism, we can say that Jesus washed away my sins. And because of that, we have nothing to be afraid of. Amen. All right. Thank you guys for coming up and participating. You did a great job. You can go on back to your seats and find your parents.